platform. Hey y'all, I wanted to come to you all for a few minutes because something hit me this morning during my regular routine. I want to talk about this idea of consistency, not the polished version of consistency, not the I have everything figured out version of consistency, but the real life version, at least by Terry Hill's version, my real life version. Because sometimes we know what we need to do, but the way we think it has to be done makes us inconsistent. And I was thinking about that because of something personal. I do not have a thyroid, so I take medication daily. And with that medication, just like with any other medication, there's a recommended way to take it. First thing in the morning, without food, with water. Wait before you eat. And in theory, that sounds simple, right? Um, but in real life, for me, who always want to have food and a cup of coffee, first thing in the morning, that routine is definitely it gets tricky. And like I said, because first thing in the morning, so I have to have my cup of coffee. And sometimes I'm just moving around. Sometimes my timing is off. Sometimes I'm just trying to get the day started. Have you ever felt that way? And what I realized is that trying to do the routine perfectly was sometimes the very thing that made me inconsistent. Now, let me be clear, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm not telling anybody what to do with their medication. Always talk to your doctor and follow medical guidance for your situation. I'm sharing the lesson that came from my own personal experience. For me, the question became, am I going to keep missing it because I can't do it perfectly? Or I'm going to build a rhythm that helps me and me alone stay consistent. And that made me think about how many areas in life I sort of work the same way. So sometimes the problem is not that we don't care. Sometimes the problem is not that we're lazy. Sometimes the problem is not even that we are not disciplined. Sometimes the problem is that we're waiting for the perfect condition before we take action. We tell ourselves, I'll start when I have more time. Have you ever told yourself that? Um, I'll start when I feel more confident. Or maybe we tell ourselves, I'll start when my schedule calms down. I'll start when I know exactly what to say. Or maybe we say, I'll start when I have more money. In this day and time, that seems a lot of the reasons that I know I've said it. Or we start when life is less complicated. You know, when life's not lifing. But the truth is, life may not become less complicated anytime soon. And that does not mean we stop moving. It means we have to find a rhythm that fits real life. That is part of I have had to learn because I'm in a season where I'm rebuilding. I'm a caregiver. I'm building a business as well, you know, in the midst of all that. And I'm managing responsibilities. I mean, some of y'all that are listening may relate. And to be honest, I'm still trying to figure things out. And if I wait for everything to be perfect before I show up, before I follow up, before I learn something new, before I share my story, before I take the next step, I will keep delaying my own progress. And I know I'm not the only one. Some people are sitting on ideas right now. Some people know they need another stream of income. Some people know they want more flexibility. Some people know that they want to do something different, but they keep telling themselves now's not the right time. And maybe it's not the right time to do anything, but maybe it's the right time to take just one step. Maybe it's the right time to ask one question. Maybe it's the right time to learn what the options actually look like. Maybe, just maybe, it's the right time to stop assuming you have to have the perfect schedule, the perfect confidence, or perfect circumstances before you explore something new. Because consistency does not always start big. Sometimes consistency starts with just one repeatable action, one conversation, one follow up, one post, one video, maybe, one decision, one simple decision, or just one adjustment, no matter how slight it has to be. And one honest look at what is working and one honest look at what is not. And I think that is where a lot of people, I know myself personally, have gotten stuck or still are getting stuck at. They're not stuck because they're incapable. They're stuck because they're trying to build around a version of life that just simply does not exist. The perfect morning, the perfect week, the perfect routine. Man, even the perfect support system, the perfect mindset. They're just waiting on that, the perfect amount of time. But what if the better question is, what can I do consistently with the life I actually have right now? For me, that question changes things because now we're not pretending. We're not making up stuff in our head. We're not comparing ourselves. We're not waiting. And we're not looking at our real life and asking, okay, we're just looking at our real life and asking, what rhythm can I create from here? And that is one of the reasons I believe in simple systems, because complicated systems sound good until real life shows up, when sugar honey iced tea hit the fan and the kids need something, the parents need care, the job drains you, the bills are freaking still there, the energy is not always there. Freaking tired. Do y'all get tired? The confidence isn't always there. Start to doubt yourself. The schedule changes, as it always can, because life be lifing. And if your plan only works when life is perfect, then it's not a plan that can carry you. It's just a freaking idea, you guys. Well, that's my opinion. And that is why I've been thinking so much about structure, not pressure. Do we need any pressure, more pressure? And not the hype, not doing everything all at once. Just simple structure. Sometimes simple enough to just freaking start. Flexible enough to fit, in our everyday life, clear enough to follow, and honest enough to say, this is where I am, and this is what I really can do next. This is how I look at business ownership too. A lot of people here own a business and immediately think it has to be overwhelming. They think they need to quit their job. Who can do that nowadays? They think they need to have hours and hours every day to do it. They think they need to have and know everything first. They think they need to be loud, outgoing, and already successful online. There's so many introverts in this world. I know I am. But sometimes the real question is not, can I do everything? The real question is, can I really just learn a simple rhythm that fits alongside my current life? Could I learn how to share? Could I learn how to follow up? Can I learn how to invite people to look at something? Could I learn how to ask better questions? Something we don't do nowadays is just ask questions. Could I learn how to build something step by step that looks, that's a different conversation. And that is why I always say sometimes the conversation is not about convincing somebody. We all have our own mind and opinion. It's about helping people see whether something makes sense to them, because everybody doesn't need the same thing. It's not a cookie cutter situation. Everybody is not in the same season. Everybody does not have the same capacity. But I do believe a lot of people are more capable than they give themselves credit for. They're just waiting on perfect conditions. And perfect conditions, let's be honest, may never, ever, ever come. So today, Sunday, June 14th, I just want to leave you with this thought. Where have you been inconsistent because you were trying to do something perfectly? I'm going to add something else to that. Where have you been waiting for the ideal time when maybe what you really just needed was a simple rhythm? And what is one thing you can do this week that is repeatable, not impressive, not dramatic, not perfect, just repeatable? Because repeatable is where consistency starts. And consistency is what creates movement, be it in your diet, be it in your exercise, just movement, you guys. So that was my thought for today while I was eating breakfast, drinking my coffee. It came from my morning routine, but honestly, it applies to so much more. It can apply to your health, your life, your business. Rebuilding, just like I'm rebuilding. Starting over, just like I have had to do before. Creating options. Sometimes the win is not doing it perfectly. That's what I just want to get that across. Sometimes the win is finding the rhythm that keeps you just simply moving. If this made you think about something in your life, drop the word rhythm in the comments or inbox me. I would love to know what area you are working on being more consistent in. Until next time, have a phenomenal Sunday.